And this voice said, "You've cried enough. You have cried enough." And this massive hug embraced me. And then I purged. Somewhere close to 20 years ago, I was in a really, really bad space, emotionally, psychologically. I'd been through the ringer of the conventional medical mental health system. I was told by a well-respected professor of psychiatry that I would be on antidepressant medication for the rest of my life. I went through what can only be described as a nervous breakdown. I was in a horrible situation in terms of personal relationships. And some dear friends of mine, who were musician friends of mine, said, "Hey, there's this stuff called ayahuasca coming pretty soon." And I thought, what happens with that? Like, well, you see lots of hallucinations and you throw up into a bucket. And I thought, well, that sounds cool. I'll give it a go. I'll try anything. That first journey, I was going in with all this fear because I'd been in such a bad state. That first journey, I felt this hand touch me. And this voice said, "You've cried enough. You have cried enough." And this massive hug embraced me. And then I purged later on. But that started this incredible relationship with this medicine. And it's not always been as gentle and soft and loving as that. There have been times when all my fears have come up, when all my pain has come up, when all my everything, my lack of self-worth, my doubts, all that stuff has come up, and when it has been absolutely terrifying. But each time, the message has been clear to me that we're just chipping off one layer of the onion each time to get to the true essence of who I am. And so I credit ayahuasca, and it's very dramatic to say, for saving my life. Maybe that's too much, but certainly changing my life in so many ways for the better. And so I've worked with ayahuasca, I don't know how many hundreds of times over the years, and I am constantly amazed at that progress that people have. So many stories I hear of people having these huge life-changing experiences. Doesn't mean that they come along with cancer and they think the medicine is going to cure their cancer. But if they come along with the medicine and they have cancer, then maybe the medicine will ease their process through the cancer and make them come to terms with who they are and forgive themselves and forgive all the people in their lives and open their hearts to love in their dying days. And to me, that is a beautiful gift. It opens us up to our inner world, which we are normally separated from, because we can't be in that space all the time. We've got to live. We've got to walk around and eat and drink. We have to have that safety to be able to go into that space. And that's the space where all our trauma lives, where our hopes and our dreams live, where God lives, where the devil lives. When we go into that space and we have interactions with all the stuff that's in there in a beautiful metaphoric way, often. Sometimes it's in a very real way. And we process and we release and we purge and we cleanse. And each step we take is helping us to get one step closer to who we should be in this world. Ayahuasca thrives in a situation where people can open themselves to the medicine, work together to produce the healing process. In order to do that, we have to know that we can be completely vulnerable in this space. And vulnerability comes from a really strictly held space. It has to be done with a structure, with a safe container. What does a safe container mean? It means that the person or people who are offering this medicine are well experienced, have done a lot of work on themselves, building their own relationship with this medicine. They've been through the ringer, they've been to the stars, they've opened their hearts, they've purged into a bucket, they've done everything. And they are then able, with humility and respect, to invite other people into that process. And the safe container means that people are looked after all the way through. That this balance between guidance of the process as opposed to interference with the process and safe holding of people is really, really important. So we don't want people to be coming in and trying to interfere with someone's process, because anyone's individual process with ayahuasca is their individual process. But we want them to feel safe. This medicine opens us up to such a vast consciousness. Sometimes she goes, well, that's your intention, isn't it? I've got news for you. We'll get there eventually, but in the meantime, we need to look at this and this, get rid of that. So it really comes down to your ability, your willingness to listen, the willingness to accept what you experience. And the other slightly more earthy way is you don't eat your purge. Okay? You've got rid of stuff, it's gone. You don't then re-ingest it back into your life. You have to accept that it's gone. That can be incredibly hard, because the messages that may come through may be really, really challenging. They may tell you to leave your job. They may tell you to change your diet. They may tell you to move location. They may tell you to go and tell your boss to fuck off. And you have a choice. Each person who receives this medicine has a choice. Do I go in with humility, understanding that the lessons may be hard and that I have to listen to them? Cool, that's great. When those lessons come, I had that choice. Stuff can be revealed about yourself, about your relationships, about your past. And sometimes it's very good to engage help for those people, for those situations. And there are many people out there who can give you help in those situations.